Well, hello there. Welcome to Insuring Your Well-Being. I am Dennis James, the bike and dance and insurance man with various insurance planning. Today we're going to have a great topic, and it's going to be very exciting because we're making some changes here. We're going to be really plugged into wellness, and I have two experts here that are going to be talking about the advantages and the benefits of skiing and snowboarding. I have the best of the best here, just so you know it. They are from Pine Knob and also Mount Holly, but I think a big part of it is Pine Knob. They'll get into that more. But we're going to start with George Smith. He's the guy that I know quite well from a 6 a.m. small group, and we've done a lot of biking together, but he's the expert on skiing. And then we also have another superstar. His name is Jeff King, and he does not only coach and instruct skiing of all ages, especially kids, but he also runs the ski and snowboarding rentals and all that. So he'll get into more detail with that. But let's start with George. George, tell us a little bit about you. I know you're a married guy, and tell us a little
Sure.
and how you got into skiing.
Okay, so I'm George Smith. Nice to meet you all. I'm 69 years old. I have been skiing for almost 50 years. I started actually in college in Philadelphia. I had a bunch of college buddies that I met when I went to school there who were skiers. That was something I always wanted to do as a younger person when I was a kid, but I was an Army brat. We were always moving all over, so there was no way I could pursue that. So when I got to college and I met these guys, they were skiers. They hauled me up to a ski resort and put me on skis and gave me like a 3-minute lesson and pushed me down the intermediate hill. Okay. It was all been history since that time. But I decided to become a ski instructor approximately 29 years ago because I had a young family and I wanted them to share in this sport, all of them, my wife and my 2 sons.
Okay.
And so for me at the time, becoming an instructor was an inexpensive way to do it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I worked at the local ski area, which was only about 10 miles from my house in Kalamazoo, called Timber Ridge.
Okay.
In return for being an instructor there, I got
Yep.
season lift tickets for my family,
Yep.
and I used to drag my 2 sons out there with me every Saturday and Sunday, and they spent all weekend long participating in like the ski racing programs and just skiing around and having fun
Right.
while I taught.
And now you're over at Pine Knob. How long you been at Pine Knob?
I've been at Pine Knob for just about 10 years. Because of my normal work, I'm an automotive engineer. We moved from the Kalamazoo area to Detroit area so that I could go to work for Ford Motor Company. And that's how I afford my habit of skiing and ski instructing. And so on my checklist was I had to be close to a ski area where we lived, and so Pine Knob ended up being it. And so right away, as soon as we moved here, I went over, and that's where I met Jeff and Jeff's predecessor, Pat Dial, and fit in really well with that group. Really open group of people there.
Yeah, Pine Knob is really nice. I mean, my son, when he was in high school, right, he was into snowboarding big time. So I'm not sure how much he taught there, but he realized, he got a school discount for showing up there. But then I do know 1 year, I think he might have been a junior, I don't know, so he was going to teach snowboarding because then he got a free membership, I believe. But I'm not sure how much he coached. But a great place. My advantages of Pine Knob, I've run those hills in the summer. So, but in the early years, though, I did go and ski. I am not a snowboarder. I realized that in my life, but I can ski. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit about you. Where do you live? And
Yeah. It's great to meet you. It's fun to be here, so thank you very much.
My pleasure, Jeff.
My name's Jeff King. I live in Lake Orion.
Okay.
And just outside of downtown a few miles. But totally loved it. We were in Rochester my whole life, and we moved out the great northern city of Lake Orion.
Where living is a vacation.
That's right. We're living as a vacation. Yeah. So, anyways, we've loved it. We've been here for almost 10 years now.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I've got 4 kids.
Oh, wow.
All of them are involved in the ski
Sure.
industry
Right.
and participating in different ways. They love going into the park,
Yeah.
and that's doing all of the jumps and the
Right.
rails and all that just
Right.
crazy backflips
Yeah.
and side flips.
So much
They're
fun, right?
amazing.
So
It
much
is-
fun.
It is so much fun for the
Right.
kids to go there. So they probably started around the time they were 4.
Mm-hmm.
And what is exciting for my wife and I, and why we love it so much, is that it is phone-free fun, where these kids
There you
get to
go.
go outside and be
Right.
kids
Right.
and just do the craziest, dumbest things. And we've got ski patrol there
Mm-hmm.
just in case,
Right.
and we've got a great staff making sure all the kids are
Right.
are taken care of and protected. And so
Right.
that's been a very exciting part of it. They're also ski racers, so we've
Mhm.
done competitions, high school ski racing.
Very cool.
We go up north
Yeah.
for competitions.
Right.
We've
So
gone
it's
to
great for
Canada.
families, right?
And
to get your
there's multiple different ways you can participate in it. You can be competitive. You can just go have fun out in the
Right.
park. You can
Right.
try to get better
Yeah.
yourself. You can think of it
Right.
as a way to work out in the winter, and just being away from the phone is such a blessing.
And you must know a little bit about equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Can you
Yeah.
tell the audience just a little bit about that?
Yeah. You know, it's incredible when we get people out there and we're able to help them understand if equipment doesn't have to feel horrible. You could actually sleep in my ski boots. For me, that's how comfortable they are.
Gotcha.
I can go out there and not be cold and have my feet feel good
Right.
all day, and that's possible.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know that.
And it's correct that you own.
I own the ski school. That's right.
That's very cool,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Owns the ski school.
Yeah.
So, I guess if you want to learn how to ski, right, wherever you are,
Yeah.
I'd maybe consider connecting with these guys. But there's a lot of great instructors out there, I know.
It's a blessing.
Yeah.
We've got about 150 people on staff,
Wow.
and they're all there because they really like it.
Right.
Although we do have a few kids like George
I
that were
see.
just out there for the free pass.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right.
That's
Yeah. So,
freebies.
so we know there's so many benefits to skiing. What ages do people start skiing? And from the low, kids up until what age? George?
Up until there's some people that ski right into their graves in their 80s and 90s.
80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's probably
And they
living a long life, 80s, 90s, because
Oh, yeah.
being outside with the air and fresh air and the exercise. And when do you start them normally? Is there an age where you start them?
we have them as young as, I think, 3 years old.
Okay.
We've got them younger than that, George.
Really?
We've got 18 months out
Oh,
there.
Oh, my gosh.
These are some passionate parents, right? So not the average, but I would say maybe the average time if families are going to get their kids into it is 3 or 4, something
Okay.
like that, because they can usually last
Right.
more than 15 minutes on the snow
Right.
before they start crying.
I know we're going to, in a little bit, we're going to be watching instructional video, but we realize how important instruction is, right? We know whatever we do, whatever that is, and it can be fitness or it can be knowledge of expertise in your profession, right? It's an ongoing skill that you have to be good at. Right. And when it comes to so you don't hurt yourself, no matter what it is, and I would say skiing is a big deal. That's why we're going to be looking at an instructional video. But I would believe a lot of people take the time to at least have one lesson. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. It's most people will take at least one lesson in their life.
Mhm.
But we are excited about those people that want to continue doing it. The lesson progress to get better. Not only do lessons help you look totally cool, like George here,
Right.
But with good technique,
Sure.
you can go spend a whole day on the mountain, not necessarily being any more fit, but just by being more efficient in your movement patterns. And so there's so many reasons to take a lesson, but to be able to enjoy being outside,
Right.
whether it's with your family or on
Right.
your own, good technique really helps you to be able to spend more time out there.
Yeah. And from an age point of view, right? I mean, I imagine you get a lot of like parents, fathers, mothers want to be with their kids and do that. And they probably should at least, like you said, take a lesson or lessons and then do it together, right? I mean, and travel with it. You start here in Pine Knob or whatever, it's local, but you can go other places and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
real common that we will work with people for the first time and they've got a ski trip planned out west, and they're saying, help me get ready so that when I go
Right.
out west, I can, at least, ski down the hill. And
Or
back.
even up to Boyne, up north, or,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
any of those great resorts up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where we've done a lot. Our own family,
Yeah.
right? I mean, what a fun weekend! I
Yeah.
mean, gosh, just
Yeah.
to be out, and yeah, going out west becomes the real deal, right?
Well, it's fun to explore a giant mountain, right? Like that is something not a lot of people get to do, and you get to
Right.
cover a lot of miles. And you were talking about moms coming out with their kids.
Yeah,
This is another one of the other reasons it's good to go get a lesson, because we can help people feel more confident,
right,
right? We can help their skills some,
Right.
but the confidence, and then our moms and dads can go out there and enjoy the slopes and exploring that
Right.
mountain. Now we've got like family playtime, right? Instead of
Right.
just the kids doing crazy stuff,
right.
the parents can participate in that exploring and
Yeah.
that sort of playing that
Right.
families don't often get a chance to do together
Right.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of people, right, they're a little timid, and
Sure.
we could say all ages, but parents, right? I mean, if they've never skied and they're whatever, never done it, 20,
Yeah.
30, 40 years old, 50, whatever, just you have to try it. If you don't try it, you only get better by action,
That's right.
doing it. And when you have an expert, somebody coaching you,
Yeah.
just trust it.
Yeah.
At least try it once. You may find out that you really like it, and unless you do that, no guts, no glory in this world, right? That's kind of how it operates,
That's right.
right?
And skiing, there is a risk involved in skiing, like biking
Yeah.
or any of the other sports that people are doing out there.
Yeah,
But we've got ways that we can mitigate that and help people, even that are in their 40s or 50s, that want to try a new sport. There's ways that we can help them make sure, as reasonably, that they can go out there and feel like they're going to come down. They might be a little sore at the end of the day using some of those core
Mhm.
muscles, but that they'll be safe and have great stories to tell.
right. All right. So, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna watch my buddy George Smith. We connected about 3 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and we had a lot of fun, didn't we, George?
Yeah, we did.
And so it's instructional video, which you can learn a lot from, right? We just got done talking about basics and creating confidence, right? So what's cool about this, George is going to demonstrate. It's about 10 minutes. You're going to watch it, and then we're going to talk, go into a little bit more detail of the benefits of skiing, right? Because once you have the instruction, right here, one thing is watching, but another thing is doing, right? So
That's right.
let's go ahead and watch Gorgeous George here.
Is it going to be on here?
Well, here we have George Smith, the guy that Only I can watch. is now going to be talking about technique, all right? And if you want to learn it from an expert, like we talked about earlier, George is going to go through some basic good technique, because whatever we do in life is about good technique, all right, with practice. So, George, how would you like to start as far as technique?
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about in skiing technique is how you stand on the skis. Okay.
Because it's not intuitive. On the skis, you want to put your weight forward and be able to apply pressure to the front of the skis. So we do that through the boots. That's why the boots actually go up our legs. And then we literally lean on the front of our boots, which transfers the pressure of our weight into the front of the skis.
Okay. Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to bend our ankles, right? And then we want our upper body to lean forward, okay? And we want to round the shoulders, okay? We want to keep our head up and look where we're going, right? And we also want to hold our ski poles out with the tips pointing backwards like this.
Okay.
Now, one of the things a lot of people have a tendency to
It's
do
the wind.
is they start
I
to
can
stick
fix it.
their bottom out backwards. As soon as you do that, it removes pressure off of the front of the skis, and you will not be able to control your skis without the pressure on the front. So we always, for everyone, little kids and adults, we always emphasize stance, leaning forward, putting pressure on the front. It's easy to do standing still. It's a whole different beast when you're actually moving down the hill and your brain starts saying, whoa.
Right.
Okay, it takes a lot of concerted effort to stay in this position.
Right. Right. That's probably where lessons come in, right?
Yeah,
And
for sure. That's the first thing we do in lessons.
I don't think
there's a
it'll
bunch
be
of
like
things
that
we do
when we
before
do it.
that, but that's one of the key things we talk about in lessons. Okay, so now the next thing that we're going to do is we need to be able to ski down the hill in control. If our skis are parallel, like this, going down the hill, we're just going to go faster and faster. So what we're going to do to control that is we're going to put our skis in what we call a wedge. It's sort of like a snow plow in front of the truck, and it actually pushes against the snow, and it creates resistance, and we can use that to help control our speed as well as to make turns. Okay, so we call it a wedge. At the same time, we got to keep our pressure forward on that wedge and put pressure on the front of the skis.
yeah, can that help? That helps you slow down too, or
Yes, you use it for everything. You use it for slowing and for making turns.
and making turns.
Yes, for making turns too.
Okay.
What we usually do is we'll have a student practice going straight down the hill first a few times to get comfortable with the sensation of going. Okay? And after that, after he's actually able to put the wedge down solidly, we'll start to work on turns.
Okay.
There's several different ways that we teach a student how to make a turn. The first way is we actually say twist your feet with your legs. Okay, so it would be a motion that would do like this.
Okay.
Okay, we actually twist our feet in the direction we want to go.
Yeah.
Right? Now the thing is we got to coordinate both feet to go together so that as we twist our feet, our wedge still stays together. And that's again another challenge that takes practice to get good at.
Sure.
Okay, and at the same time you're doing that, you want to keep your weight forward. Okay, another challenge. So there's a lot of stuff that sort of keep track of and keep trying to keep control of as you're doing a turn. Now, as you start to learn how to turn, then moving weight from one ski to the other becomes another significant part of turning. What we like to do, or what we need to do in skiing, is we want to apply more pressure on the ski that would be on the outside of the turn. So if these are my skis turning, right? I'm turning to the left. My outside ski is the right ski. So what I will actually do is I'll actually press harder by leaning a little bit forward on that ski and pressing harder on my boot to put more pressure on that. And the edges of your ski, okay, will actually create sort of like a railroad track, but will actually create the turn and make you turn.
Okay.
That's why skis aren't straight on the side. If you look at a ski, let's see if I can do this. You can see it's not straight. It's got a hourglass shape to it. And when you press that hourglass shape into the snow, these metal edges here actually create the turn for you.
I see. It's interesting. When I was, younger and used to ice skate and play hockey, so you know how I kind of always got used to turning on the side,
Yes.
and it kind of made things natural
Right.
when I went to ski.
Yes.
It was a lot more natural for me to shift my weight to turn to the side and slow down or stop
Right.
versus turning them inside.
Yes.
Sometimes when I did that, it didn't always go near as good.
Yeah, when you put too much weight on the inside ski, it's probably the same way in ice skating. You'll fall over. You'll fall over the ski.
Yeah.
Okay, because what's actually happening when you make a turn is you're generating forces. Okay, the forces in the turn, and you're actually balanced the weight of your body against the forces, so that it makes actually turning very easy, and it works very well with the outside ski. It doesn't work with the inside ski because of the way your body is shifted and the physics of it.
Yeah. Now, I'm just wondering, so once you get the skis on, and let's just say you want to, you're in a position maybe halfway up the hill and maybe one of your friends fell and you want to like climb up the hill just enough to be able to help your friend.
Yes.
How do you do that?
So the way you do that, the easiest way is what we call side step. Okay. So what you would do is you turn yourself sideways to the slope of the hill. So whatever the slope of the hill is, the
Yeah.
fastest slope down, you turn yourself sideways and you side step like this.
Ah,
Okay.
I see.
Now, if it's not real steep, if it's a mild terrain,
Yeah.
what you can do is what we call herringbone. And I call it the duck walk with the kids. The ducks, sort of walk with their toes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we do it in such a way that we use the edges of the skis to actually dig into the snow and give us traction.
Right.
And that's one of the things that we also have to teach students how to get those edges to dig into the snow, because at first they could be sort of like a duck on ice, not being able to get any traction until they learn how to position their feet.
Yeah, and probably with the poles, right, have to help so much for that control and all that.
Yes. We use the poles to help push ourselves around down at the bottom and the lift line, but we also use the poles for timing. When we're becoming a more advanced skier, you'll see that skiers do a maneuver like this.
Okay.
They actually touch the snow and they use it for timing of the turn. Okay, and also for moving the weight of their body down the hill, which helps to create the turn when your skis are going parallel.
I see.
Like this.
What about, once they get a little better, right, they want to step it up. They go from bunny hills to kind of average, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're such a superstar after all your lessons from George Smith that you're doing moguls, and how do you pronounce that?
Moguls?
Moguls, yeah.
Moguls,
So
yeah,
what's the deal with that, just kind of like a summary about when you're doing moguls. I mean, right? Because you got to land
You
right.
have to be able to, number one, make very quick, short turns, and you've got to be able to keep your balance forward, because the bumps will knock you backwards. So what you do is you've got to keep your skis close together. You've got to be able to turn very quick, right? And you've got to absorb the bump, which means you actually retract your legs as you go over them to absorb the force. And then it keeps from bumping you back. And then very quickly, you got to turn the opposite direction, and you take advantage of the troughs and the bumps that comprise the moguls.
Okay. Is there anything more? We have about a minute left that you would like to just, we talked about some basics. Anything more
Yes.
you'd like to share?
What I want to share is, if you come out to ski, take a lesson, because it's not intuitive. And a lot of people think they know how to teach skiing, and they really don't. And you end up having a really, really terrible time sometimes when all you do is fall down or go too fast and maybe even hit someone because you're out of control. So my suggestion is take a lesson. Most people will be able to, within an hour, be able to make a basic wedge and be able to turn and stop and be able to start going up slightly steeper hills than the bunny hill.
Right. And then I would think keeping the consistency the best you can.
Yes.
We're all busy, right?
Yes.
Of all ages, and just being consistent.
Yep.
Okay, George.
Thank you very much.
You did an incredible job, man. You're an expert. How many years again?
I've been teaching almost 30 years.
30
I've been
years.
skiing close to 50 years.
And here's a man in great shape, and that doesn't happen by accident. But what's cool, you can always begin. All right, thank you, George.
Thank you.
Wow.
That was a solid lesson.
Was that impressing?
Yeah, as George's boss, I'm happy.
Wow.
I mean, I got an A.
Let's get at least A plus, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you know, A plus right in there.
Anyhow, very good. Yeah, yeah. It's just common sense, right? But sometimes we just have to hear it. We have to hear that, that instruction, and then the importance of a lesson, right? You get a feel for if you like it or not, But I can see it as a wonderful family thing, and so many families do it, right? So. How does skiing contribute to the overall health and well-being? I know we talked a little bit about it, but let's just kind of we mentioned confidence. Want
Well,
to elaborate on that?
yeah, for sure. Well, you know, just getting real quick back to the lesson thing. Um, if you come out and take a lesson, now you can feel safe about it, and then you can take skiing whatever direction you want to go. For a lot of people, that might be an intimidating thing, or a guy doesn't want to go take a lesson. But it's okay to keep yourself safe, to keep other people safe on the hill. Once you get that lesson, a whole new world opens up to you. And in terms of working out and working towards healthful habits in our lives, I would much rather go skiing and get a great workout because it's fun for me. I probably get a better workout quicker at the gym, but man, do I enjoy going out there to the hills.
The fresh air.
Yeah, and another thing, and not everybody is this way, but for me, I kind of always want to get better at every sport I'm participating in. When I go and play tennis or pickleball with the family, I'm not really shooting to be a great one.
Yeah.
In skiing, though, I really want to be great at it, right? Like I want to go for it. I feel like, it's like people with golfing. They get passionate about it.
Right.
And it's not just about going out there, but it's about getting better, however they're scoring themselves and getting better at it. And with skiing, it's the same thing, that you start to see that I need to be stronger, or I need to work on some agility skills to help me be more mobile. I got into yoga as I got older, specifically to help me with balance and flexibility, and being able to utilize more of those muscle fibers than I would normally use in my everyday, right? And so we get that whole mobility built up with us, and it's so critical for us excelling in a sport. And that combination of yoga and skiing, two different aspects of being healthy. But the yoga helped me to achieve my goal of being great at skiing. Being great at skiing requires that I work out and have some aerobic capability. So it all adds on to each other. It's a fun way to do something healthy.
Some great cross training too,
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Great cross training, and when people dress for it, I mean, right? Depending on the weather conditions, but what's your thoughts on that? You warm people up, and then they got to make sure they dress right. Either one of you want to elaborate on that?
Oh,
a
yeah,
little bit?
yeah. We get a lot of people that come out for a first-time lesson with jeans on, and jeans don't work well because jeans, as soon as you fall down, there's no insulation in them, and they get wet.
Yeah.
All right? So you really want to have good ski pants,
Yeah.
That have skirts that actually go down around your boots. You want to put multiple layers on.
I don't get that. Skirts. What do you mean? I don't wear a skirt, George.
No. the hem or
Me
the
neither,
skirt
George.
of your pants, they have an elastic in it, and you pull it open, and you put it down around your boots, so it basically creates a seal for snow and cold air.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm with you.
And that helps your feet stay warmer.
We're all from Orion, so last week when it was like 0 and with the wind chill, it was colder. My teenage kids were in the terrain park where they're doing their jumps and the balancing on the rails and all of that. They didn't even have a coat on. That's how much of a workout it is.
Right.
Not even a jacket.
'Cause you're
all
moving.
they had was a sweatshirt on over their regular clothes.
Because they're moving.
They are moving. And I've got some skinny 19-year-olds because they're always out there just having fun and getting a great workout.
Right.
So
it's funny. It's off the subject, but maybe not. It's called grounding. right? You grounding means you go out in your bare feet.
Ooh.
You know, yeah.
Ow.
So, or cold plunges, all those interesting
Oh,
things.
yeah.
I do that at Lifetime. You know, they got a cold plunge, but I have one. George, you never did get in our cold plunge.
No,
this
I know
year.
you've been trying to get
Yeah,
me there,
we're-
but I've
we're-
been sort of
hey,
disappearing when you.
But
are
it's
gonna
good
ask
for your
me.
body, right?
It's very helpful, George, and I want to see a video.
Oh, okay.
But anyhow, yeah, being outside, you want to dress right, but you also have to think about when you're really moving, right? You can
Yeah.
break sweats, you
Yeah.
can. So you have to pay attention to that too.
Yeah. And
So,
it was 30 yesterday, and my wife was freezing.
Right.
Right? She had to come in because she was cold. So that the George was talking about the layers. It's really handy to be able to do that. You run inside, you take off a layer,
right,
you dial it in according to the day.
right. Yeah, is there norms when, and it could be, but, you know, just in a nutshell, like Pine Knob, right? I mean, they have certain sessions you go at a certain time. Just summarize that, and does that work wherever you're at throughout the U.S. or world? I don't like times, you know.
Yeah, so we're fortunate in the Midwest. We've got smaller hills, but we get night skiing. Out west, it's very uncommon to have night skiing.
It is,
So it's really
really.
cool for us at day lodges like Pine Knob that
Yeah.
people can come out and do this after school or after work.
Yeah.
You don't get that opportunity
Right.
necessarily out west.
Right. What time can you start? Like, just say on a weekend.
The lift starts spinning at 9 a.m.
9
and we
a.m..
close at 10.
That's
And then during the week,
yeah.
10 until 10.
Okay. All right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So is weekend Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday for 9 till 10.
Okay.
Friday is still 10
Okay.
to 10.
So in Michigan or a lot of different places, Midwest, you said, would that be very similar in a lot of ways or
Yes.
what?
So they normally will break the day up into two different
Mm-hmm.
sessions. So it'll be a morning session, which would go from 9 until 4:30 or somewhere around
Yeah.
there, and then an evening session that would start at 3 o'clock and go until close.
Okay. Yeah. Most people, they'll just go out there for a morning or evening session type thing
Definitely.
then, right?
Yep. Yep.
And you can always go in there and eat or drink or
Yeah, there's a lot of that good stuff. in there.
the above.
all of that healthy
Keep-
food. Oh,
Oh, yes.
so good.
Yes, you better ski.
Yeah.
And beverages.
Yeah, better
Healthy
ski.
beverages.
Yeah,
Wha-
it's funny. One of our top sellers
Yeah.
is ice cream.
Oh, my goodness.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's the middle of winter, it's freezing cold out, and ice cream. Those kids love it.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the best about skiing in the ski industry? And, you know, let's say that. Yeah, what's the best? There's a question here, best about skiing in the ski industry.
Well,
I guess it's good to get both your points of view
Yeah.
because, I mean, I think of something myself.
you know, I have a lot of reasons why I'm a ski instructor. I was always kidding that, like, my reason number 346 is because I love to teach people how to ski. I love seeing the thrill
Right.
when they figure it out
Yeah.
and they're having a ball coming down.
Right.
Yesterday, one of my students' sons was there getting a separate lesson, and he was having so much that he decided to ski down the hill with just one ski on, and he thought that was pretty good. And he's only had 2 lessons, and this little 8-year-old is skiing down the hill with one ski.
Oh, very cool.
He had a ball.
Yeah.
You know,
How long's the lesson?
about an hour usually.
Okay. All right. Is there a warm up before 15? Is there a warm up? You guys warm people
Well,
up?
it depends. If they're a new student,
Yeah.
we have them do a lot of what we call groundwork,
Yeah.
walking around on the ground without skiing down the
I'm
hill
with
so
you.
they can get used to the equipment.
Okay.
But if it's someone that's
Yeah.
a more advanced skier
Yeah.
that knows how to ski, we'd probably do a couple warm up runs first,
Yeah.
right, before we actually get into.
Right. So warm up runs going to the top of the hill and skiing down, or what's
Yep.
that mean?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, going up to the top, whatever hill that we're going to work
Okay,
on based
with
on
ya.
what their skill
I'm
level
with
is,
ya.
right? And then after that, we do all kinds of very ingenious exercises
Mhm.
that we do to try to help them adopt a specific skill or specific movement
Yeah.
that we want them to do that's going to help their skiing.
Very cool. Thoughts there?
Well,
Jeff King?
yeah, my favorite part of skiing
Yeah.
is we go out, we go skiing with my buddies or my
Yeah.
kids or my wife or
Right.
whatever,
Right.
and the day is over. We're tired.
Yeah.
We sit on the deck and we drink a beer,
Okay.
and we tell stories.
Very nice.
Right? Like,
how fun.
Those
Right.
times are
Right.
precious.
Those are memories.
And great memories.
Right.
And the stories that I hear people tell,
Right.
as a guy in the industry, people are often sharing with me experiences they've had. The stories,
Right.
and you see mom and dad
Yeah.
laughing with their kids,
Right.
and do you remember when you did this or that? And we were talking earlier about the joys of video, all of the crazy ski videos that are
Right.
out there.
Right.
It's so much fun to watch that, and you can share that around in the family text group.
Right.
So much fun. My
Yeah.
buddies and I are sharing those videos with each other, and it just gets us pumped up.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Family time, man.
yeah.
And of
Special
course, the
times,
kids
yeah.
always love talking about how mom and dad, or mostly
Right.
dad, fell down the hill. Right?
Right.
For sure.
Oh yeah, I get
yeah.
reminded about those all the time.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
you know. Well, sooner or later there'll be a parent, and guess what? What goes around comes around in some
around,
things,
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. Any final thoughts? If not, why don't we go ahead? I'd like you both to tell people how they could get a hold of you. They may have a question. They may want to, and it could be, how do I get a lesson or whatever. So why don't we start with you, Jeff?
Okay.
I
I have one last thing to share.
Yeah,
For
please.
those people that really want a solid workout in the winter,
Yeah.
if you want to have a really aerobic or real strength building experience,
Mhm.
there's all kinds of stuff you can do when skiing. It's not like the normal sort of skiing, but it's still fun like skiing and it's moving like skiing. But if you could do it for 5 minutes,
Okay.
you're in the top 1% of fitness population, right?
Okay.
Like, so you can get a very solid, very strenuous workout skiing. And you can look that up online and find exercises, or we'd love to share it with you.
Right. Right.
You can get a hold of
Yeah,
me
go on.
at Jeff, JFF, at pineknobskischool.com. And we have a website out there, pineknobskischool.com. We've got all kinds of information and opportunities, events that are going on out at the resort, because we really just want to share this cool experience with people, and people that want to take advantage of it, we want to make it as easy and painless as possible.
Right. Okay. Super.
Yeah.
George.
So you can find me amongst a list of instructors over at the ski school website. I'm in there, and you can, you have the ability to actually sign me up for a lesson directly.
Right. Okay.
Without even having to make a phone call. You can do it all online.
Right.
Type George in, and his smiley face will.
So is
right
that it? You don't even got to mention Smith?
Oh,
You don't even need to put Smith. The AI
Georgie!
knows if you put George in there, this is who they're talking about.
I think I'm the only one.
Yeah.
They broke the mold after me.
Okay, well that's cool. I hope people really get a lot out of this, and take action. It's early in the season. It's January. What a perfect time to get. It's actually February, isn't it? Time
Yeah.
flies when we're having
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
But it's great times to, maybe book a lesson and get with your family or a friend and go out there and experience it,
Absolutely.
because I'm sure there'll be gifts behind just doing that. So
Absolutely.
thank you both so much for being a part of this, and
Thank you very much.
glad that you're here with the Insuring Your Well-Being, and may everybody have a blessed time. Take care.